They are among only 5 snooker players in the history of the game to have made a maximum 147. Kirk Stevens last night and Cliff Thorburn at last year's World Championship. Now, Kirk, I know that I've got to keep my voice down, haven't I? You feeling fragile, eh?
Yeah. How's Cliff look? He looks okay, doesn't he?
Well, no, I felt rough until I saw you this morning.
Right, well, let's not waste any more time. Let's go straight into this 147 from last night with Kirk Stevens against Jimmy White. Now, Jimmy led in frames by 5-3 as Kirk came to the table, and we're going to talk to them as we go through it. So, let's have a look at it then, as Kirk at the table at the start of this break.
What are you trying to do there?
Oh, my eyes. I was under extreme pressure.
So, here you go, at the start.
Well, this red, I was looking at this red, I was going to screw back into ball, you know, but I looked at it, I thought, well, I better go for it, you see. I need some points up on the board the way he's potting, you know.
That's the problem with Jimmy, you can't leave him anything, can you?
No. But it was just a nice angle to run straight through, you know, I could get through that gap there. Yeah, came nice on the block.
One.
That shot, was definitely more impressive than my first one.
Oh, yours was a cracker, yours.
We'll see that a little later, actually.
Yeah, here I've tried to come around the reds, you know, around that red I've just hit there. Play it back in the corner, so it was a bit like your first shot. And it's come real nice because I can pot this red into the middle and split the balls out a little more, you know, loosen a few more up. There. Get lucky to end up like that, you know, finish on that red like that.
9.
But I think on a break like this, you have to be, you know, everything's got to go for you, you know.
16. 17. 24. 25.
Just a little stun here. No, run through, sorry. For that top red. No, there's a plant there, isn't there?
32.
It's like seeing it for the first time. I just run straight through on this plant and follow through into the top red and it pushes it down.
33.
On this shot, I finished a little too high on that, on the red, that I want to play back into the same pocket I potted the black. So I'm stretching quite a bit here on this red.
It's in a very difficult position, isn't it?
Well,
To get at.
yeah, for me, if I was like, I need to be about 6'1". I need to be about your height, Cliff. But, you know, I don't have to do much with the white, just a little sort of stun and around the back of the black. Almost missed it.
41.
Still no thoughts at this stage about a maximum?
No, I'm taking all the loose reds, you know, and keeping the pack tight. So I'm thinking about just winning the game. But I know that I'm on, you know, I've made all blacks and that, but
48.
obviously you're not in the right position right now to think about a 147.
49.
Now, do I remember right? Is this the important shot coming up?
No, I followed through here. I was thinking about going into the balls, but there's still an open red left, and, you know, I'm thinking about winning the game, so, and keeping things tight. I've made, you know, 40-odd.
It's amazing that you
56.
fellas remember all these shots. Terry Griffiths was in the other afternoon, and he remembered every single shot.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's got a good memory for. Geez, he
57.
can remember things like a couple of years ago, a couple of years in certain frames. This is the shot here that they split up really nice. Now I'm thinking about the 147, and I'm looking at this red over the middle. I could
64.
stay down the table, you know, to secure the frame and that off this red into the middle. But I looked at the balls and look at them. They're all spread right out nice. Nothing's on the cushion. And I thought, well, here's my chance. I better go for it.
Did the nerves start to get a bit worse then?
I'll tell you what, it's very surprising. It wasn't, I wasn't really that nervous. I was more into the break. I was sort of,
That was a great shot there.
right. I ended up a little high here on the black. I can still lose the frame here if I miss this black. So I guess this was like a big shot right here. Because there's, let me see, 6 red, 75 still left on the table, and only 65 in front. Okay, now I've won the game, and now it's, you know, going for the maximum.
72.
Well, Cliff, you were watching this. Did you watch it from the start, or what?
Sorry. No, not this frame, because the frame before, I thought that it was best of 9. And when Jimmy potted the pink to make it 5-3, I thought that it was all over, you see. So then I found out that it was the best of 11, and I missed about the first 8 blacks, and then all of a sudden in the players' room, everybody was going completely crazy, and to be there at the end was just unbelievable. I can imagine what it was like outside. But I felt like I did it after, you know, Kirk knocked in the final black. I'm sure that lots of people felt like that.
81.
Very emotional.
That's funny. I would have liked to have been in the players' room, because always when something like this is on, you know, everybody's like everybody's real quiet, or like, and every time a ball's potted, everybody's holding their breath, and it's great atmosphere.
88.
Here, this is one of your shots, Cliff. I picked up off of you. Instead of just rolling it in and staying on that side, you run straight through.
Line, eh?
No, you run straight through. Yeah, onto the block. Yeah, you play that shot real well. That's kind of nice for you. Here's where you gotta keep a bit of composure,
89.
eh? Like you've been through it about 30 times now. 147.
I think that the thing that really impressed me the most about this was where the last two reds are here, Kirk was forced to play position on them in the middles and get the right angle to come back for the black, and that was definitely the key here, I think. See here, I mean, all sorts of things that can happen. But he's finished absolutely perfect on this red into the left-hand middle pocket.
Still no great nerves even at this point, Kirk.
No, well, now the crowd starts to get me going here, you know, because now they know it's on, and it seems like almost every ball that goes down, they're applauding, and the applauding's getting stronger and stronger, you know, and it gets the old heart pumping a bit.
You prefer them to keep quiet, would you, at this stage?
Well, no, I loved it, you know. You love to hear them really applaud, and that, there you go, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? It gets the juice flowing. But sometimes, yeah, you feel like, oh, don't clap, I'm too nervous, don't clap. Now here, this black here, I should have played probably off the side cushion, the bottom cushion, side cushion, but I've gone straight up and down the table. I thought I could get by the right-hand side of the pink, and I hit the pink ball, which is left a tough shot on the yellow because I can't get around off two cushions back into the green zone pocket. So I have to play a bit of a dodgy shot with the arrest and try and place the white ball to pot the green back into the yellow ball pocket.
Yeah, long think about this one.
Yeah.
Actually, Jimmy's poised there. I think he's as anxious as you were at this point, because obviously the frame's gone, and all he wants you to do is get the maximum.
Yeah. I've not come strong enough for the green here, and I think this was the best shot of the break. This for a recovery shot. This I've got a screw off of side cushion and come around off 1, 2, 3 cushions with a load aside. Lucky the pink. Here's the crowd gets me going here. They were fantastic. They were absolutely fantastic.
125.
Of course, it's a great occasion for them. I mean, how many people have seen a 147 live?
$129.
No, I just wanted to leave an ankle on the pink. I didn't fancy trying to pot the pink with screw, so I've left an ankle I can run through now, and I can go to either side, but a natural pot will bring me straight back up and down the table, and it's whether you finish on the black or not. If it, it's a bit chancy, but I knew I was going to finish close to the black.
No, let's watch this cue ball.
Everybody thought it was going to die here, the cue ball. So did I, but it's bounced off nicely. And do you know what I'm thinking about here?
Yeah?
I'm thinking about the black I missed in 1980 to make the world record in the World Championships. It was the last black for a 143. And I'm thinking, here's for all the years I kicked myself for missing that ball.
Great, great scenes, and I thought you kept your composure well there.
Oh, thanks very much.
Right, well done. That was absolutely unbelievable. Let's turn now to Cliff. Do you remember of your 147? Because it's getting on the best part of a year ago now at the World Championship.
I can remember every single shot in it. Well, especially the first one was probably the most outrageous fluke the game has ever seen, and at least I'm sort of proud
right,
of the
well,
fact.
let's have a look at it then. To the top of the frame, it's against Terry Griffiths in one of the early rounds of the World Championship at the Crucible in Sheffield.
So far, so good. I think this was my lucky day. I left Terry over the yellow ball there, and almost in a impossible position to leave me safe. But here comes the big shot here.
It's a tremendous shot, pulling that red off the side, the back cushion like that as well.
Well,
You know, it's a bit dodgy.
I don't like to play those cushion shots, so I try and knock them off as soon as possible. But this is probably the most outrageous shot I've ever played. You know, as far as getting lucky is concerned. But as I was going to say before, I was very proud of the fact that you know, I didn't feel bad about it. I mean, you know, like I did have a reason to feel bad about it, but it's when in a situation like this, you know, like to take advantage of a fluke is good too. I used to feel bad about fluking balls, but you know, people have been fluking balls against me for years, and sort of hardened up to the fact that I could honestly say right now that you know, if I mind my business and just stay close to the object balls, that it could possibly be a 147 on. I think after I potted the first 3 blacks, you know, and then it's just sort of staring at me straight in the face all the time.
So you were seeing a 147 even at this stage?
Well, not really right now, you know. I just sort of wanted to get rid of some of the debris down at the bottom there and give myself a bit more breathing room, and
The reds are beautifully placed.
oh, well, it's just, you know, incredible that they would sort of split like that. I, in actual fact, haven't had the balls like that too often in a tournament.
Well, we've heard where Cliff was when Kirk made the break last night, but where was Kirk when this was going on?
I was in the grocery store doing my shopping. And it's come out over the loudspeaker. Cliff Thorburn just made a maximum in the World Championships. You know, I dropped the groceries, right, run to the car, turn the radio on. And the announcer was going crazy. It was, you know, I was sitting there. I was missing out on everything. But it was great. It seemed like everybody knew about it just after it happened, you know.
24. Fine. Two. 33. 40. $41.
So what's going through your mind at this stage then, Cliff?
Well, I just want to finish, you know, good on a red ball and just keep it going, because obviously here I don't, you know, the cue ball doesn't really have to travel all that far. And as a matter of fact, this is one of the better shots that I played during the break coming up. I had to back cut this red that's on the left-hand side of the table, down by the black pocket, with a lot of check side to kill the cue ball, so that I wouldn't snooker myself on the two reds by the black on the right-hand side. So I hit with a lot of right-hand side and low, so that when the cue ball hits the cushion here, I can play the black into the same pocket as the red. And I just about went too far here.
Oof. 49.
But once you get into this spot, you know, it's funny how you practice and you practice and you know, you're trying to make yourself think positive, and then you get into a spot like this and like you're not really thinking of anything, you know, your mind is just in a blank, like you're really not there.
Kirk was saying that remarkably that he didn't feel any great nerves once he realised the maximum was on. What about you?
I felt, I could honestly say exactly the same. I've had many 147s in practice where I was just a bundle of nerves, and you know, I was playing in front of maybe 2 or 3 friends, and but when I was watching Kirk yesterday doing his fabulous feat, he just had that look in his eye, and you know, maybe like a few people might have said, well, you know, he's young, he's never been in this spot before, when's he gonna mess it up? But I know him probably a lot better than most people, and he just had that look on his face, and I hate playing him when he's got that look on his face.
Likewise, I'm sure. That's a good shot. You're getting off good with the rest, aren't you?
57.
You're having a few problems there for a while, but you tightened everything up nice.
Well, it's just that I never have to use the rest.
Yeah, I know, being 6'3". Or your position's too good.
Well, thanks. I couldn't really say it.
Yeah.
64.
I think that if I would ever have had any type of, you know, like a rush of blood, it would be about right here. What I liked about Kirk's break yesterday was he probably had about 5 or 6 opportunities where if he, you know, he could possibly have chickened out, as they say, back home, you know, and sort of have had a legitimate excuse to miss or whatever. But you know, it was just nice to see him hang in there all the way.
Cheers, buddy.
How much of a disadvantage is it to have to use the rest like that, as opposed to a normal shot?
It is big. I think with that equipment, it is. You used to have a long 3-piece extension,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, I don't think that it matters on shots
65.
like the one that I just played, because all I had to do was just hit the cue ball in the center. But if you've got to hit the cue ball low or put side on it with the long ones, with the tip being almost 1.5 times the size of your normal cue, and with the long cue being, you know, almost 1.5 times longer, the shaft has got like a different stiffness, so that when you're playing a shot with side, you just got no idea, really.
Yeah.
It's like a guessing game.
73.
So there's, what, 5 reds to go?
Well, right now I'm really homed in.
Homed in, yeah.
It just seems now, I think, like from about this point onwards, every ball went into the center of the pocket, which made things a lot easier, you know. Like if you slop a couple in, you might start thinking bad or whatever, but basically all that I had to do here, in all honesty, was just sort of show up, you know.
Show up.
Well, you know,
There's plenty of work
just like
left in this.
nice half ball angles here, and it's just all weight now.
These reds on the left-hand side could give you a problem.
88.
But you've played some terrific shots to finish them up. It's always a lot easier when they're, say, right around where these 2 reds below the pink are. But when they get to the either side of the table, it becomes very difficult to get on them and get the right angles.
89.
To stay on the black.
You did exactly the same thing yesterday on one black. You finished a bit high. I think it was your the 12th or 13th black. You had a shot something like this, but not as wide
Not
an
quite as
angle.
difficult over top of a red, and that is a great shot. That's a great shot. Terry's willing you on here now as well, isn't he?
Well, knowing Terry, he probably thinks that he could still win the game.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Now here, I think if I was just like, a little bit nervous, here's a shot that I could really mess up here because of the cue ball so close to the red. And but I was making such good contact at the time that, I just hit it so clean, and I got the cue ball rolling very easily, whereas sometimes in that position you can sort of jump up a little bit here.
There's two shots in this break that were outstanding, and you've taken a break here. But I think this black was one of them. Three, this black was one of them.
Was that nerves there?
No, sorry. In actual fact, my nose was running, and it could have been very embarrassing at the end if I hadn't have gone to blow my nose.
Oh God, foul shot.
The old palm sweating there a bit.
Oh yeah. Well, my hands sweat when I play naturally.
This was tremendous because you had to get a lot of screw into this, didn't you? Come off that side cushion. And if you had just a touch aside on the skew ball, you could have really messed up for you.
Well, I just had to hit it with center ball. But this was probably the best ball I hit. I mean, like without really doing that much work, I got the cue ball moving very easily. Now here is where you could really go completely. I mean, if your mind starts to wander a bit here, you're gonzo.
Now there we are, all the colours on the spots, and you must have fancied yourself very strongly from now on.
Yeah, I just had a nice little half ball shot here on the black, and I just wanted to have a shot at the yellow. I wasn't concerned about being too cute and getting close to the yellow and playing the perfect shot to get down there. I felt like I could honestly pot anything there. And on this particular shot, I had three options. I could have played it with left-hand side and gone to the top cushion on the screen, the side cushion, and out for the green, or right-hand side to check it back, but I chose to play it center ball, and it's ironic that I very seldom play the shot like that, but I just thought under pressure, that was the right way to do it. But this, to me, the green was the best shot that I hit because the noise that the green makes when it hits the back of the pocket, I mean, it just split the bar in the pocket in half at the back. I mean, it really cracked in, and compared to the yellow, I thought that the green was a much better shot. Because, in fact, I had just missed a green exactly the same as that the frame before.
Were you aware that everything had stopped? The game next door had stopped, and Bill Worthington was looking on?
No, I was in absolute dreamland. But, I'm just glad that my subconscious took over, because you get yourself in such a state here that, you could go from the brown straight up to the pink and then shoot the blue, because it's like time stands still. It's just the most amazing feeling in the world. It's like nothing's moving now. It's just in a trance.
Now this is a real easy block to finish up on. You want to kind of finish like straight, but you've kept it all together really strong here. You know what I mean? It's easy to do.
Well, at this point, Jack Carnham said, "Good luck, mate," and let's enjoy the series.
Now here, I just heard banging their heads together here. Watch this. Oh, God, that's been painful for them.
Unbelievable scenes. Tell me, a year later, has that made you famous throughout the world? Do people remember the 147 more than the World Championship?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. You know, I don't know if I'll ever do that again. I certainly think that I could win the championship, but that could be, you know, beyond, you know, all comprehension, like to actually do it again. But it's just ironic that I've been to a few places where, like a person would fluke the first red, and now they say that I've done a Thorburn. So I guess there's some notoriety from it. Sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's an honor to be a member of the club.
The club.
So to speak.
A club of only 5.
Yeah.
Both Canadians, Jack Carnham and Rex Williams in the commentary box, and of course Rex is one of the 5 as well, so lots of coincidences there. Thanks ever so much for coming, and it's been a fascinating half an hour. And Kirk Stevens, Cliff Thorburn, and they'll all be talking about you back in Canada, won't they? Ahead of a reception when you get back there, won't they?
Maybe. We'll start a party. We'll start a party.
Thanks very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
And but now let's go back into the arena for the man who actually beat Kirk